From World of Concrete 2017 here in Las Vegas, we're happy to bring back to you Brad Boehler, who's with Skyjack. And they had a great day at the show yesterday on the opening day in which they launched a new product, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But we want to talk about the differences in the marketplace a little bit, about what's happened previously as opposed to 2017 in particular.
Sure, fair enough. So for Skyjack, I would say, we started 2016, we were very optimistic. We were going to have a great year,
sure.
And things were going to go along swimmingly.
Right.
And we were going to have continued growth and all of that. And we actually did. We grew last year, so I'm very happy about that. But we grew in some very tough circumstances. So we had some markets, scissors were relatively flat globally. Booms and telehandlers, though, were kind of down significantly
sure.
as well, right? And
sure.
so we've always been the scissor company. We've been the worldwide leader in scissors, and so we managed to maintain our market share there. But we've done well growing our boom and telehandler products, and so I was very, very happy last year in the strides that we made in introducing our new 30 AJ boom, our articulated boom, and also introducing our line of telehandlers and growing market share in both of those places and allowing Skyjack to continue their growth curve last year in some difficult markets.
Well, you just brought aboard the new 1256 telehandler. That's a massive piece of equipment, a beautiful piece of equipment.
Yes.
And you're actually going to give birth to that thing sometime in spring of this year.
We are. So we're going to start manufacturing them in May and put them out into the marketplace in June once we're sure that we've got all our manufacturing process down correctly. Yes.
All right. You mentioned scissors and you mentioned electric booms. What's new in that and in that market line for your company?
So again, late last year, we introduced a couple of new products. So we
right.
introduced a 4740, which is our tallest DC electric scissor to date at 40 feet. And that was a good introduction for us, a bit of a niche product, but it's launched very, very well and had some benefits and attributes
sure.
that were a little bit beyond what our competitors currently have, and a good stable feel at height. And so that's done very well for us with customers so far. And we also just recently launched that 30-foot articulated electric boom as well. We refer to it as the ARJE because it's got an articulated rotating jib electric. And so, so that's been well received with customers as well. They've been waiting for us to get into some of those smaller electric boom products that they can put into some niche applications as well.
Well, you're talking about heights and depths and all of these areas, and you mentioned one thing that's interesting to me, and that's stability. And I wanted to refer to the fact that the new ANSI standards are coming into play now this year. So what does that do for a company like yours? Does that send you back to the drawing boards, or does that give you the impetus to further enhance what you already have?
It's a little bit of both, actually, Roger, I would say. So ultimately, yes, you're right. So for those who don't know, there's a whole new series of ANSI standards that will be applicable to our aerial work platform
right.
equipment that are going to be released this year. Will come into effect. We'll have roughly a year to kind of transition into a new
sure.
design, but certainly the other parts of it will apply immediately, like safe use and training.
Right.
But from the design side, yes, we have some things that we have to do. It gets us to a place where we're more similar to some other standards, specifically European standards, right?
Okay.
And so the introduction of a few things like load sensing will be new for the North American marketplace. It's something that we've done in Europe for many, many years now, but it will be introduced here. And so it's something we know how to do. We're relatively confident that we know how to do it, but it's going to be new to customers here, and they're going to have, I'm not necessarily going to have difficulties, but there's going to be a bit of an education there that they're going to have.
Well, there always is, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Once you start adopting new standards and new procedures and practices, but particularly, does that raise any alarm bells with you as having to bring a more European standard into the marketplace?
No, I don't believe so. I think it's just a matter of people understanding what the new requirements are going to be and why they're there. They're ultimately there for safety of operators and personnel on job sites, right? To
sure.
ensure that the equipment doesn't allow you to do things to it that you should you should never have been allowed to do. But perhaps, we were relying on people to understand that what they should put into platforms, as opposed to now having an understanding of what's in there and whether it's allowed to work.
And again, and the reverse of this, is it necessary for you to start educating your customer base about these?
It absolutely is. And so we're at a bit of a cusp. We've been waiting. We're obviously very what's the word I'm looking for? I apologize.
Aware?
Yeah, aware, no, but we're very active in developing standards as well, right? So
Sure.
we sit, I'm chair of a subcommittee, and we also sit on various parts of the ANSI committees, and so we're well aware of what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. But you're right, but there's also a certain level of confidentiality before a standard is published. As a committee member, you're not really supposed to go out to the public and start talking about it either, right?
Right.
And so we're kind of waiting for that hurdle to get to a point, and we're really pretty much at that point because they've gone out for public comment now, so that they are public documents, and so that we can now begin to educate people about them. But if I go back a step to one of the questions you asked earlier, we certainly do also have to change our equipment a little bit. So there are other portions of the standard that are going to come into play that will drive some other changes. And so there's new parts of the standard that relate to what type of slope you'll be able to elevate on and how, some of which we've had before, some of which is a little new. There's new wind loading coming into effect in the North American marketplace, and that will be new as well. And so we do have to do some redesign of our products as well, some more than others. But at the end of the day, yes, there will be new products,
Sure.
new features and attributes, and
Well, that's something to look forward to in coming years.
It is. We can talk about that next year once we released a whole new line of products for the new ANSI
I hear
standards.
you.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure having you. It's always a good message you bring.
Yes.
And good luck. Everything is going well. We hope it continues. From World of Concrete 2017, Brad Boehler, who's with Skyjack.